Welcome back to another episode of the Shit Stick of Life podcast. I'm Kortney Wilson. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, Court here. And something you may not know about me is I am a real estate agent in Nashville, Tennessee. But wherever you're moving, anywhere in the world, and yes, I did say the world, I have built a trusted network of realtors that I would love to connect with you. So no matter where you live, reach out to me and I'll do just that. Welcome back to the Shit Stick of Life. Guys, I'm ridiculously excited. This is a very different episode. My guest is right beside me, but I'm going to say this anyway. I've got a very special guest and friend joining me. The one and only, my co-host, my flower boy, my flower man, Kenny Brain. If his name sounds familiar, it's probably because you've seen him on Big Brother Canada, followed by his journey into real estate and design, or maybe even caught him on HGTV. But beyond the TV stuff, Kenny is one of those people who brings equal parts heart, humor, and honesty to every room he's in. We've been friends for years now, actually. Can you believe that? And our conversations usually bounce from ridiculous laughter to the kind of deep talks that stick with you, not to mention, and this isn't in my script right now, the depth of tears that nobody has ever seen deeper. So today, you get to pull up a chair and join us. Y'all, welcome my dear friend. Kenny, are you crying already?
I am a little bit already. I'm very fragile today.
You're only fragile because you are hungover.
I'm so hungover.
Oh my God. I love this. Okay, a few different things about this episode. While he's snorting over here. We have his boyfriend Chris and my husband Ryan in our audience. Yeah. And by audience, I mean in our podcast room.
Staring at us.
Yeah, staring at us. So it's kind of like a podcast live.
It is. I'm stopping. I'm stopping now. Go on.
Oh my God. Okay, so in the background, boys yell, hey. Okay, there we got it.
It's the boys.
We have, my sweet little nifty cards here with some talking points, but something tells me we're probably going to get way off.
Probably not going to read any of them.
I just learned that this is your first podcast that you've agreed to.
It is, yeah. I've been asked a million times, but it just didn't really seem right.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm your first.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how you feel about that when we're back.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know Kenny, maybe have seen the show, but he's a little bit mysterious to you. I want you to take us back to little Kenny.
Little Kenny?
Yeah, who was little Kenny? Don't cry now. It's okay.
No, little Kenny he's actually very shy. Like, growing up in Newfoundland, I was a very shy child. I remember my mom told me that anybody that would come over to the house, or if we were in public, if anyone would walk up to us, I would run over and I would bury my head in her legs.
Kenny, my mom told the same story.
About you?
Yeah. The reason she got me into dance was because I was so shy. I hid behind her legs when anybody came in.
Yeah, same.
And we both ended up on TV.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
We kind of flipped to the exact opposite side of things.
You're one of how many kids?
3. So my 2 older sisters, Maria and Laura. Maria's the oldest. Laura's the middle. I'm the youngest. Newfoundland's a great place to grow up, but it was just not something I knew. I always knew that I was going to leave. I always knew that I was going to leave because it just didn't have enough for me. You know what I mean? I squeezed every bit of juice that I could from it, and I knew that I had to go somewhere else.
Also very similar to mine. We've never even talked about this.
No, never.
I don't know that I ever identified that I was going to leave, but I always knew that I was going to leave. I never said it. I just knew.
Yeah. There was never a point where I remember being like, I have to leave this place until there was a point where I was like, I have to leave this place. But it was always deep down inside that I just wanted more. I needed to experience more. I needed to test myself and push myself, and I know that I couldn't do that in Newfoundland.
Did your sisters do that?
My oldest sister Maria is still in Newfoundland. She lives in Newfoundland. Laura lives in Calgary, so she moved to Calgary probably 12 years ago, 15, oh my God, more than that, probably 15 years ago, and she's lived there ever since.
So do you now go back and appreciate the upbringing that you had there, like I do in Sudbury, Ontario?
Abso-frickin-lutely.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Without a doubt. I mean, I don't think I would have been who I am. I would never become who I am if I didn't have that. It was very much the, mom kicked us out of the house, and, I heard her screaming at 6 p.m. to be like, come on, supper's ready, kind of thing. Like,
supper's ready!
You don't, supper's ready. We don't get that anymore. I don't think so anyways. Like, did you do that with your kids? You didn't kick them out at the... when they were young, when they were like 8 years old?
No, I didn't. I think I bridged the gap between like the old school and the new school, of like being really hyper vigilant about where they were. Like I gave them way more space. In fact, I remember filming in Toronto with my ex-husband the last summer we were ever together. But my kids were in Toronto, which I considered incredibly safe, right? Because we live in the South. I mean, my kids had literally seen somebody shot in our street at some point. So they would go to, walk, a mile away and go to the local soda shop like it was in the 50s and, hang out there. So I remember them coming home one day because we would just let them go to the park. I was like, did you meet anybody? They're like, yeah, we really want to go for pizza, but none of the kids are allowed to go.
Yeah, totally.
And I was like, what? And so that's when I realized, oh, wow, I am really...
You're giving them a pretty wild leash.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so was there a defining moment? Let's jump to middle school. Was there ever, when I say middle school, what does that conjure up for you?
I think middle school was just awkward. It was awkward because I think that's when I realized, I didn't know I was gay, but I knew I was different. I knew I was attracted to men, but I thought everybody was.
Even in middle school?
Yeah.
I always wonder this, because I have friends that have kids, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're gay, or they're fluid, or they're like something, right? They're not a little straight boy or a little straight girl. But I'm like, wait, what is the moment that you realize that?
I don't know. I don't think there was any one moment that I can pinpoint that it was like a light bulb that I just knew I was different. But I think puberty, right? You hit puberty, and then when all those hormones and you're just, I knew I was just attracted to men.
Yeah.
But I also thought that everybody was, and you just didn't talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was just this taboo thing that nobody talked about. I lived in Newfoundland. We had no gay people around. I had no gay friends.
So you thought everybody was holding a secret?
I thought everyone was holding a secret. So I was building this persona as I was growing up to hide this thing.
But not out of shame.
Not out of shame, but it was just you emulate. You see the people around you, and I think that I was building what I thought I needed to be in that environment. Mm-hmm. And it took years and years and years to realize that I was actually just building a shell. I was building my shield for safety because I didn't want anybody to know the real me. I didn't want anybody to know that secret. And it also took...
So that is kind of shame, though. Doesn't it feel like you were...
Yeah.
You felt shame?
Yeah. But I'd say there was definitely a bit of shame. I mean, small town, and if you don't have any experience or exposure to anything similar to you, then how do you navigate, right?
How was your first kiss with a boy or a girl?
It was with a girl. Oh my God, that's actually, you want to talk about shame?
Okay, you want to hear this? I want to hear yours, and then I'm going to tell you mine, because my first kiss was with a girl.
Oh, you little...
Okay, go first.
All ears. No, absolutely not. You don't drop that snippet.
No. You go first. Your first kiss was with a girl.
It was with a girl. It was in the woods.
And I'm like, oh my God, the horror.
Honestly, it was...
Cheers, first of all. We are drinking.
We are drinking. I've
drinks.
been drinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, first kiss. What age? How were you? Where were you?
So
what were you wearing?
Kiss, I can't tell you what I was wearing. I can tell you my cheeks were scarlet because I was so embarrassed. But I was in the backwoods. I think it was behind Flo Sullivan's house.
Flo Sullivan?
Yeah, old Flossy Massey. It was behind Florence Sullivan's house in the woods, and her name was Nicole. I can't remember her last name. And
it's probably best that way.
There was, honestly, just wait. Yeah. There was a ring of kids with us standing in the center.
Hey, wait, how old were you?
I was probably 11 or 12.
Okay. You were young.
And there was a ring of kids with us in the center, and they were all chanting, "Kiss her, kiss her, kiss her." I lean in, fully open mouth, wide open mouth. Wide open mouth. Jeez, clearly.
Like, had you never seen a picture or a TV, like a movie?
Nervous. Yes, I've seen all the movies. Believe me.
You've studied them.
I've studied. I've thought about this moment, and especially because I was like,
your mouth is open. I'm thinking you were watching a different type of movie.
Wink. But and I know this moment is coming because I'm a gay boy who's being like, I need to. This is what I'm gonna have to do for the rest of my life. So I have thought I prepared for this moment. She clearly does not go in with an open mouth because she's a normal human being. And then I remember this one kid, Troy. He pointed and he went, "Oh my God, his mouth is open!" And I turned blood red and I ran away. I literally ran. And I still think about that moment.
Every day of your life?
Freaking day. Literally.
Okay, your first kiss story is way better than mine because my first kiss story was actually to prepare for what I thought was my first kiss.
Oh, this was your prep?
This was my prep kiss.
You guys were being like, let's test it out.
Yes, let's test it out. We don't know how to French kiss and use our tongues.
There's a lot of movies that start like that.
Fair. So my first kiss was with a girl named Jennifer. She was my best friend. And it was 7th grade. I was about to kiss a guy named Jamie, who I'm now friends with, by the way. He was my first kiss.
Wait, he was your first kiss?
Jamie was my first
kiss.
French man kiss. Yeah, my first.
He was a French man.
Yeah, French man. He's not a French man. So I go to Jennifer's house. I'm in her basement. You're right. This does sound like a real sloppy movie, but. Basically, we're like, do you want to just practice? Like, I don't know. I don't want to go in with my mouth wide open.
True. I should have been kissing boys.
You should have practiced.
I should have been kissing boys.
And so we practiced, and I remember thinking, holy shit, this feels awful. And I tell this story, and I've told this story to my kids. If I had kissed a boy, and it had felt the way that it did when I kissed Jennifer, I would have known I was gay. But now I don't know that. Like in this moment,
okay, yeah,
I'm like, when I say to my kids, listen, you'll know when you have your first kiss, like it will feel right or it'll feel wrong.
100%.
This felt wrong. I for sure was a straight girl. Okay,
well, that's one thing we have in common.
Yeah. Both of our first kisses felt wrong. So, but I used way too much tongue. And it felt weird, and I think she used too much tongue, and then we went later on that night and played Spin the Bottle, and I kissed Jamie, and it felt so great.
It's like electricity, right?
Electricity. So when people tell me they're like, oh my God, they're gay, or it's, it's
the nature versus
I'm like, y'all don't know.
You're indoctrinating. Like,
y'all don't know, because
sweetheart,
yes,
no.
Exactly.
I've watched all the Disney movies. I've watched all the princess kisses, and it still was wrong for me.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that is very interesting. That okay, so now you kiss Flo? No, what's her name?
No, that's my mother's friend.
Okay.
I did not kiss Flo.
I'm drinking. You have to give me a free pass.
So now you're kissing Flo. Go on.
You're kissing the girl. What do you do next? Do you go home? Are you thinking about it and going like, wait, what do I do now? Are you embarrassed? Are you named something for the rest of middle school that you can't outlive? What's the next step?
So I go home, obviously, absolutely ashamed and embarrassed, and it almost goes to another layer of the shield, right? You have to build this extra strength persona on top of it. It's being a man, I think, is hard, and I think. Especially now.
So we're not going to just do a clip. We're not going to send a clip out of you saying being a man is hard. Being a man is hard. So when we do this clip, we'll make sure that we have the second part of being a man is hard because keep going.
Yeah, I take that back. I retract. Shit.
Fuck.
Okay. Anyways.
Cheers to being a man is hard.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Keep finishing the sentence, though. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. The guys are laughing. I want to hear it. Being a gay man is hard.
Being a gay man with this persona that you have to build and keep up is hard. It's exhausting.
Being somebody
that you're not
is hard.
Right? And then also having to deconstruct that person later on in life. Once I fully accepted who I was.
Which was?
A gay man.
When?
I was 20. I think I really knew when I was like 19-ish, and then like 22, I think I came out. It was 22, yeah.
Came out to your family.
Came out to my family. Yeah, I've been having like, experiences.
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
that. But
Even in Newfoundland. There are gay people in Newfoundland?
There-
What?
Wow.
Mind is blown.
Yeah. Yeah. We have electricity too.
No way.
It's crazy. You should visit. It's lovely.
I'm screaming, and our poor Emma is like frantically trying to like address the sound issues.
like,
so
I'm
if
deaf now.
yeah, if the sound sucks, I'm sorry. It's not Emma's fault. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it's basically having to then deconstruct that person that you've created
Yeah.
to figure out what parts of yourself are real
Yeah.
and what parts are things that you've created for safety.
Yeah.
Right? So did I really like fishing? Did I like hunting? Did all the things that I did with my dad, did I do it just because I needed to be that person, or was it because I felt like I needed to? So it was like a pretty long journey afterwards to figure out exactly what I created and what's real.
It's funny that you mentioned those things, because one of the things that I love about you is that you are a beautiful gay man and also sort of a guy's guy with all of those things. Like, you love fishing, and you love not hunting, but you love like the outdoors, and you love like you I have friends that span the gamut of,
Flamboyancy?
And this kind of brings me to one of the first things that we dealt with as a TV couple, because a lot of people thought that we were dating.
For a very long
Long time. So we're going to get back to his story, but we're going to take a little pause right now to talk about the fact that you now come out at 19 and you're a grown-ass man. We're going to get to the Big Brother days, but one of the main questions that has come through over and over and over for us is, how did you guys meet? How did the two of you end up on
kind of random
TV together? Which is, I was I was outside of my divorce and looking for a new co-host, and we put some feelers out there, and they gave me like all these casting tapes, and I started crying, and I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that must have felt like.
No, it was brutal.
Yeah.
And so I said, let me know when you're down to the top 10 or top 20. But one of the notes that I had given was, I would love somebody that's gay.
Man.
Yeah.
Really? You told
a
him
gay
that?
contract. Yes.
I don't
100%.
think you've ever told me that.
Really?
I know that you told me
Gay or already
once
married?
it got to the end, that was a factor that definitely was
No.
leaning my favor, but I never knew that you said that.
Well, we didn't have 20 gay contractors. So to
Really?
choose from, yeah. So but one of the things that I said was, because people had written some terrible, awful things about me, and that when we announced the divorce, there were so many people that thought I had an affair, which was just not true.
Someone asked me that the other day, actually.
No shit.
Yeah, literally,
I can't escape
recently,
this.
they were like, yeah, but she
had an affair.
cheated on him, and
Yeah.
I was like, no, she didn't.
No, not even close. It's still to this day. So anyway, when we were in this whole process, it came down to a handful of people, and I really did. I said they had to either be happily married or gay, because I didn't want to have to come up against this story that
Yeah.
I broke up a marriage, or I was, whatever. And so when we did our screen test
Yeah.
together, first of
role
all,
play.
our role play, which was
awkward.
so weird during COVID. So we couldn't actually be in the same room. We had to do everything virtually. We did this co-ed, or this screen, whatever you want to call it, screen test. And I knew he was gay. I already loved him, but I had done 10 that day. And the network was leaning toward this married guy.
I remember. Yeah. Okay. I remember you telling me about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, I'm not going to give too many things about him, because I don't want to out this guy, but I did not
Like him.
And he had made some super sexist, misogynistic comments. But the way that they cut the piece with us together, those things are cut
Made
out.
it look better.
And then we had chemistry. And so I said, please recut it.
I do remember you telling me that as well. Just basically being like, don't make him look so good.
Don't make him look so good. Make him look real.
Yeah.
Like what he really said.
Yeah, because that's what's going to come out eventually.
I will lose my damn shit working with this guy every day. And so anyway, they cut it the way that it should have been cut. They recut it. They said Kortney really likes Kenny.
Oh.
And then Kenny, also happens to be gay. But we are playing out this whole thing online, and everybody thought that we were dating.
On a consistent basis.
On a consistent basis.
Like we would say, I'm gay.
Yes, we would joke about, not joke, we would tell the truth and joke about it on social media.
I'm gay.
Yes.
And they'd be like, so you're dating.
At
like,
one
I don't think you know what gay means. She doesn't have the mechanics.
And then at one point, I started dating Ryan, who's in the room right now, and we were backstage we were behind in a house in a cool.
Backstage. We were in like a dirty side room.
Yes, freezing room because
it is not as glamorous as she's making it.
That's right. And we were changing because we were doing what's called a pickup day, and Kenny had met Ryan, and Ryan had met Kenny at this point, but we were both.
Oh no, I don't know if I met him at that point.
In person at that point?
No, I don't
you
think
had
we did
met
because
him.
I didn't meet him till Blue.
Guys,
what's it called? Collingwood.
Wait till you hear this. That's right. Oh my God, that's a story that we're probably going to get us in trouble. We're going to tell that too. So Kenny and I are changing. We are changing outfits. We've got to change like 10 times.
Yeah, like we're literally always in our
And
underwear.
Ryan's on FaceTime. And at one point, I'm in my bra and underwear, and Kenny is behind me in his underwear, and Ryan is on FaceTime.
He's like,
Ryan goes, "Hey, honey," and he tries to whisper on FaceTime.
On FaceTime,
"Hey, honey, are you changing in front of Kenny?" And Kenny goes, "I'm not into what she has. I'm into what you have."
Yeah. I'm like, take your shirt off.
Okay, so now let's jump backwards. So we're back to high school. You have come out. Do you have a big, cool come out story to your parents?
Not really. Actually, yes. So I was dating my very first boyfriend, Connor.
Okay.
And he was a professor at the university. He taught Gaelic and Irish history.
Gaelic, okay. Sure, great, awesome.
I mean, it wrote itself.
It wrote itself.
It wrote itself. And so we were dating for, I'd say probably 6 months maybe. And he was coming out with my friends as my friend. So we were still closeted. And I was like, yeah, this is my friend Connor. And they're like, okay, that's strange.
Did they know?
No, no one knew at that point.
Nobody knew.
No one knew. And so my friend Melissa she had a going away party. And we had rented this bar for her. And Connor, being the good Irishman that he is, gets absolutely polluted. And he's just like, he's nervous, right? He's around all these people. He's like having to hide who he is, which is hard. And then he gets real drunk, and in the middle of the dance floor, he just kisses me. And all of my friends, every single one of them were there, and they all just went, and I went, Connor's my boyfriend.
Oh my God.
And everyone went, woo! Like literally, it was so lovely. And every single person was absolutely, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking cry again.
I love this for you. I love this for you because there are, you know what, we always hear the awful stories and the sad stories, but the truth of the matter is, even growing up in Newfoundland, Canada, you had friends that loved you for who you were.
And they were so supportive, and all that fear and anxiety and that thing that I built and then I was building to hide who I was, and then I finally just took the veil down and I showed everyone who I was. And it was me who created it.
So freeing.
It was me who created it. It was so freeing. Everyone was accepting. Everyone was loving. It was a really, really lovely moment, to be honest.
Even if it had not been lovely, even if it had not been everything you had hoped it to be, you still would have felt free.
Without a doubt. Like, carrying that is not something anyone should have to do. It's too much. It's too much of a... That load is too heavy. But my mother...
Was it a different story?
No. Well, so Connor was sleeping over at one point, and my mom...
As your friend?
As my friend.
You...
Well, at my own house.
Imposter!
At my own house.
You liar!
Yeah, my friends... sleeping over.
Also, Ryan, baby, can you get me a little more wine? Thank you.
He's the best.
Okay, so Connor is sleeping over at your mom's house.
No, at my house.
Oh, because you're like a grown man.
Yeah, I'm a real human. And But my mom has a key to my house. She decides to come over early one morning because my sister was sleeping at my house, and so at this point, my sister knew. So me and Connor are in bed. My sister's on the couch. She's not answering her phone, and my mom comes in, and Maria's like, "Don't go in there." And I closed my bedroom door, and my mom's like, "Who is he in there with?" And my sister was like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And I'm being like, "Get her out of here." So that was the moment when my sister was like, "You have to tell her. Like, you can't."
Yeah, there's
hide
no better time than right now.
I didn't do it immediately.
Okay.
I did it that night. So I went over to her house for dinner, and I sat down, and we were eating Chess's fish and chips.
Of
course, as we do. Delicious. And the anxiety, my heart was pounding. Like, if they couldn't hear it, I would have been surprised.
Okay, pause for a second. I want you to remember why your heart was pounding. What was the fear in that moment?
Of them disowning me, of them not loving me, of them not accepting me, of me not being enough for them. They have built this idea of who I was in their head, and I was going to shatter it.
Yeah.
I was going to shatter that idea, that future, the marriage, the kids, even though you can do all those things. But small town Newfoundland, even in myself, I didn't know I could do that. So I was in my head shattering this image that they had created of me. So I was so nervous. I was like, I was shaking. And my mom was like, "What's wrong?"
That's okay.
Such a baby.
That's okay.
And I said, I couldn't say the words "I'm gay." I couldn't say them. So I said, "I have a boyfriend." And I burst into tears. Like, just uncontrollable. And she was like, "Why are you crying?"
Oh my God.
She was like, "Kenneth, why are you crying? You're my son. I love you." And that obviously set me off even more. And she was like, "Sure, I should have known. You were such a good dancer. You always kept your room so clean." I was like, "Mom, that doesn't make you gay." Like, that literally is nothing to do with being gay. But
now you're wanting to educate.
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ, ruined.
Okay, so, but again, huge release. Are your parents together at the time? They are divorced at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, were you more fearful of telling your mom or your dad?
Definitely my dad.
Okay. 100%. I've now met your dad. I've hung out with your dad, so I don't want to give anything away. How did your dad react?
He wasn't as great. He was the last to know. I told friends, family, everybody, and he was the last to know. Because I was so scared. My dad he's a bit of a man's man. He drives a Harley. I grew up hunting and fishing with him and stuff. And, he's a forester. He's just, I don't know. And I always looked up to him so much. He's your father, right? And I'm also the last brain male. I am his only son and the last one to carry my last name, which I know means a lot.
Yeah, it means a lot to him.
Lineage, right? It's the passing of the torch.
We need more brains in the world.
We need more brains, and figuratively and literally.
So, you tell your good old boy dad.
I sit down. We go to brunch. He's visiting. I'm living.
You know this is the day.
I know this is the day.
Okay.
I had planned in my mind.
Okay.
And we go to brunch. Again, I'm off. I'm nervous because I know I have this thing to say. I can't find the words. I can't do it. And he's dropping me off, and outside of my house, I'm getting ready to get out of the truck, and I look at him and I say, "I have a boyfriend." Still can't say the words.
Still can't say the word gay. Isn't that interesting?
That shame that is there it's taken a long time.
I think this is going to be very relatable, actually.
It's taken a long time to be able to say those words. It was easier to say I have a boyfriend than to say the word.
Why is that?
I think the connotation and the pressure of the world on that word itself is just, and it's also so definitive. It's like you say it and then you can't go back from that. And saying I have a boyfriend is just like, oh, maybe I'm bi.
Yeah.
Like,
so you're giving them hope.
Yeah.
You were giving them hope. You were lessening it for them.
I was dipping my toe in the water without doing it fully because I didn't have the courage to do it, to be honest. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed. And I said, Dad, wrong response.
So now his response gave you the ammo to
I was mad.
Be pissed off.
I was a bit mad, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was
so you went from fear
to anger. Like
very
that.
Quickly.
And I think he kind of caught himself a little bit. And he said, well, you're my son and I love you. He was like, well, what about the last name? And I said, well, Dad, I can still have kids. Just because I'm,
So you identified right away what his fear was.
Oh, yeah.
That's very big of you, actually.
Yeah. I never really thought about it that way, honestly. I was so fight or flight in this moment that it was just like reacting. And I knew that his big thing was, I also think it was image for him, having a gay son. And I know that actually because I've
had this conversation with him since.
I've had this conversation with him since, and I've been told from other people that he was worried.
Super interesting because I've met your dad and I love him.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. He absolutely adores you.
Our relationship has grown and
which means he has grown as a person.
He has. So I went back to Newfoundland this past September when I went to go see my grandmother before she passed, and we went to the cabin and we had the best time. We were doing renovations on the place, and he was like, I've changed and I have grown. And he's like, it's because of you. He was like, Jesus Christ, Gordon.
I know. No, this is good. This is good. Yeah. He's grown because of you, and he has grown because of you. Yeah, he has. I mean, if I didn't know the story that you just told me, having met your dad, there is zero doubt in my mind that man has seen an insane amount of growth because of his son. As a human being, because he exudes love.
Totally. He's so loving. He's so funny. He's lighthearted. He wants to connect with everyone. Like, he travels a lot, and everywhere he goes, whether it's a waitress or anybody he meets,
he tells everybody about his son.
He wants to connect with them in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, okay. He
wants to make them feel good. And like, you should see him with his friends, like him and Clifford Bray. Are we allowed to say like last names and stuff?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Anyways, Clifford.
Unless you're gonna like degrade the person.
No. Clifford. They think Clifford's my real father.
Oh, hey, Cliff.
Yeah. So I call him my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So Clifford.
Your dad's gay too. What an interesting turn of events. Let that be the clip that your dad sees.
Oh my God. He's gonna be like, well, I'm back to being disappointed. They were just in BC, and they came to visit me and stay with me for the night. And we went out to brunch at this little diner the next morning. And the two of them are as good as a concert. They are just playing off each other and joking, and they're picking and poking. They're like kids, to be honest. And then the waitress is coming over, and they're trying to make her laugh. And they're just, they spread love. Really, they really truly do. So the growth that my father has had from that moment until now is it is on par with who he actually is. I think growing up in small towns, and then it's also just the environment, right? If you're not exposed to it.
No, you're not. No, and did you show him grace, or did you just get angry?
I showed him a little bit of grace.
You were young.
I was young. Yeah. I was angry, and then I showed grace. Because this was, don't get me wrong, this was a journey.
Yeah, no, I that's why I'm trying to get at. Because I know that there are going to be people. There's some young boy listening right now. Yeah. And also there's some old man listening right now. And both of these people are going to learn from this experience, and I hope that they do. So what words of wisdom first do you have for the old man? Let's call him the old man, the dad that's listening right now, whose son or daughter has just come out and they're struggling. What do you have to say to them?
Ask them questions. Just
Ask your child
Ask
questions.
your child questions. Be inquisitive. I know it might not be what you know, what you're used to, what you think is the norm, but it's your child, and you love them. I know you do. Ask them questions. Ask them how they feel, what they want, who they love. Just
something has
be
to shift
inquisitive.
for a parent at some point, and it did for me many years ago, but it was actually a suicide. A little girl that was 12 years old took her life in our community. And I remember thinking, now I'm going to cry. All I ever have wished for my kids is for them to be happy at the end of the day. I would absolutely hate for them to come out or have been bullied or, have wished for a life for them that they did not want for themselves. Money, fame, something that I was projecting onto them.
Yeah. Yes.
To result in them taking their life and the regret that I would have. And at the end of the day, don't we just want our kids to be happy?
That's exactly it.
So your parents, do your parents have a good relationship? It's a divorce situation.
It's a divorce.
So.
It was a very tumultuous divorce.
Yeah.
Very, very tumultuous. Yeah. They are cordial now, and I don't think there's animosity in any way. Do we all hang out?
No.
We don't. We do not.
Yeah.
But, if there is some sort of event or anything, can we all be in the same room and it be nice? Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to, because I would be disappointing everybody if I didn't ask you some questions that came in.
Oh, God.
One of the questions that came in several times was Kenny replacing Kortney's husband on TV.
Oh.
Was it awkward for you, and what were the dynamics?
So awkward.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we're getting
Extremely, extremely awkward.
No way.
Yes, of course. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay, tell me.
So you guys obviously were a staple. You've been together for a very long time.
Yeah, 22
You've
years.
Created a brand. You've created a lifestyle together. I knew who you guys were. Stepping into shoes that were existing, and because that's kind of how it felt, right? And our first season, making it home, you had already done one season with him.
Yes, I had, which people forget that I went from Masters of Flip to that show to actually make it easier for us to save our marriage, funny enough. And then, I know. And then even your boyfriend was like, wow, that went
really well.
Went great. And then transitioned at the end of that and actually gave him the option to do the show.
And he said no.
And he said no. Well, he said yes, then he said no, then he said yes, and he said no, just very Dave. And ultimately we were like, okay, forget it.
Yeah.
Because the network was giving me the show. And that's when we went on the hunt for you. We already got that. So okay.
It was because it was not a fresh chapter, right? It's not like we started a new show together. That's what Life is Messy is.
Oh my gosh, our perspectives are so different on this. So I love this because we've never talked about it.
I like Life is Messy is everything that I wanted for me and you.
Yeah.
In so many ways, not just for
The new show.
The new show.
Yeah. Because some people don't know this. The new show.
The content is amazing, but it's the fresh start that I wanted with you.
Yeah, because Making It Home was when it was a continuation of what I had with my ex-husband. Okay, so what were the dynamics of that? Let's go back to that first season because okay, here we go. That was a really hard year for me. And people ask us all the time if we truly are friends. And we really are. But I think it's largely in part to us transitioning from a really hard time in my life, probably something I needed a break from. I actually probably should have taken a year, and I didn't. So I went right into it with a gay man. My sweet gay contractor best friend changing in front of him in front of my husband.
Yeah.
While I'm dealing with extraordinarily hard circumstances behind the scenes. What was that like for you?
I didn't realize I had to be like a therapist as well when I signed up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the stepping into the Dave aspect, the Dave shoes was hard, but then seeing everything that you were going through was, but it was also, it's what connected me.
Did you ever feel like, oh my God, what a bitch, or
No.
what? No.
No.
You knew, but you also were seeing the real stuff that was going on.
I was seeing the take and the toll that all of this was taking on you behind closed doors. And we were going in, and the camera would roll, and you would put it. I was like blown away. I learned so much from you. Like, truly, I really, really did. Like, you were able to compartmentalize and then move into a professional setting without taking that forward. And I'm not good at that. Like, Jesus, I've cried like 5 times since I've been here. I have issues with that. And I saw everything you were going through, and I think that's what made me really fall in love with you, is that you were just able to carry everybody's loads and still make things happen. And still,
there was a day when we were in our first season, and my dog was dying, Donnie. Do you remember that day?
Yes.
My sweet little geriatric pug, who I had adopted from a shelter, was dying. So I got a call saying he was dying. Now I had already been divorced, but we were in a reveal day. And for those of you who don't know, a reveal day is when we hand the house back to the family. It's a very amazing, energetic day, but it is one that can't be moved. It can't be pushed.
It's like live TV.
It's like live TV. Exactly. So the family's there. They're very excited. And I got a call, halfway through the day that the dog was dying, or actually a quarter through the day. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I called my ex-husband. And he was not making it easy for me. He basically did everything to make me feel worse. And you pulled me aside. You probably don't remember this, but we were there was catering down in the basement of the house where we weren't shooting. And you pulled me aside, and I remember you looking me in the eyes and saying, how are you? And I said, I'm good. I'm good. We just got to get through it, because that's what I was doing all day. We just got to get through it, and then I'm just going to get home, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to hold Donnie, and I'm going to have somebody come over, and we're going to euthanize him, and we're going to figure it out. Yeah, I know. It was awful. And you just made me stop. And you went, how are you? And I hadn't been asked that. This is before Ryan. I hadn't been asked that. How am I? At the very same time, I was going through a breast cancer scare. And I was going to work every day without telling anybody except you. I was like, I have a lump in my breast. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but the show must go on. And so we had been through a lot of shit that first year that simply bonded us together. So it's really no surprise that also it's no surprise that the energy was there between us, that y'all thought we were dating.
Literally, because I remember so many times just looking at you and like being like,
you could, yeah. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I am right now. I'm on the verge of literally collapsing, of which I probably did many times, but never did on camera. God forbid.
Got put down. I remember, because if you look back at the episode, there's one shot where you can see it. You can see the tears still in your eyes. Yeah. And I said, go home. Because we still had to do finishing touches, and we had to do all these things afterwards. Yeah, and finishing touches, y'all, because I think people get a kick out of this. Finishing touches, when he says that, it's when we've already shot with the family. They have been handed over their home. Yeah. And then we go back and shoot this thing called B-roll. B-roll is like the images that you see while we're talking with the family, of us putting the pillow in place. Fluffing
and
stuff.
Fluffing things.
Like rubbing the counter.
Kenny always rubs the counter.
I always scrub the railings.
It's a running joke that Kenny always.
I'm always just like, and I stare directly at the camera as I'm doing it, and they're like, "Stop that."
Yes. So there were many moments during that first season that bonded us, but the very first time that we got to go on camera together, we had, everybody thinks, okay, let me back up a little bit. It was COVID. We had a lot of restrictions.
We did, it was terrible.
I get to meet Kenny, though I have met him virtually. I get to meet Kenny the day before with the crew, they have made an exception for us to all wear masks and go out for pizza or something. Wasn't it like, it was a place in Franklin, Tennessee?
Yes, yeah.
So that's where we met.
Yeah, the very first time.
The very first time. And we are about to start filming the next day.
You literally.
I could tell he was nervous. I could tell that there was, and I remember thinking, because I was in hell at the time, myself, just with my own divorce and kids and all this stuff. And I remember thinking, this poor sap, we are about to throw him to the goddamn wolves tomorrow.
Oh my God. Blood and
water. And we're not allowed to be in the same room without a COVID officer. We're gonna talk about the COVID officers, but this was in Nashville, so not quite as strict as it was in Toronto, Canada. So I say to the director, and I'm not gonna out her because the poor girl caved for us. I said, we are throwing this man to the wolves. Tell him to come to my house tonight.
Oh, yeah, the walkthrough.
The walkthrough. And she goes, Kortney, we're not allowed. I said, nobody has to know. Get Kenny to my house tonight.
I'm surprised you're saying this.
I'm saying it. Whatever. Sue me.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kenny agrees. He comes to the house. We've got the director and I think the AD in the room.
Yep.
The AD is the assistant director, sorry. So we are all standing around a very enormous island in my kitchen. In fact, we are so COVID scared at this point. We're like, I'm on one corner, you're on the other corner.
Basically, we were all across the room.
Yes, and I said, Kenny, we are going to run through a scene, even though this is real reality TV, so to speak.
There is still an equation.
There's still an equation, and I want to run this. And I remember seeing the relief.
Yeah.
Like.
Totally. Because I was like, we had to go the next day.
Yeah, the next
to
day.
Our first home, our first walkthrough with our first couple.
Yeah.
And I remember, even with that walkthrough,
yeah,
my knees were smacking off each other. Literally. I was like, they're picking this up on camera. This is going to be real fucking cool. Can't wait to watch this back. But it would have been way worse if we didn't have that walkthrough and you.
So I said, let's just talk through this. So I'm going to just talk. And I knew he wasn't scared of me because in the audition process, all of the other people that auditioned, when they were at the end of the audition, they asked them what do you think of Kortney or whatever? Like, do you love her designs? They're like, oh my God, I love Kortney. It would be an honor to work with her. And Kenny said, yeah, I think she's great. I mean, her designs are, hit or miss or whatever he said.
I said they were really busy.
Yeah, they're busy. He's like, I like some of them. I don't like others. And so they presented it to me, and he didn't realize that I was going to see this.
Nope.
No. So I am watching basically the final five, okay? And they're all great guys. And I get to his interview, and somebody says, I think it was Josie, but somebody says, eek. Like, is he out? And I was like, is he out? I love him. And she was like, what? And I said, I love him. Mm-hmm. He's not afraid of me. And he can push back on me. This is what we need.
Yeah, and I fully,
you had a different experience.
As soon as I closed that laptop, I went, well, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the opposite experiences. Yeah. So here we are. I'm having this experience. Kenny on the other side is having this experience. Tells the casting director he's out.
I was like,
screwed
thanks
up.
for everything.
Yeah,
guys.
thanks for everything.
No.
So anyway, he had the job right then and there. That was okay. So then we go on, and I have my first date.
Oh.
Can we talk about that? Kenny's in the room. Did we talk about this?
Yeah, of course we talk about this.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay, let's do it. So I have decided to go on my first date. Kenny knows that I'm going to go, and I have not.
She's on Match.com. Let's just talk about that for a second. Like, I didn't even know that was
I didn't even
know that was a thing still.
Plenty of fish. I was 40, okay, asshole. I was 40.
Does no excuse.
Okay, so
I guess it worked out.
So I go on Match.com. He's encouraging me. My girlfriends are also encouraging me, but there's only a handful of people that know I'm going to go on this date, really.
Yeah.
3 people, really. So, and he's one of them. So I come back to set the next day. What is your recollection of me coming back to set?
Okay, I was like, you're going to ruin that boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He is
literally
going
said
to
that.
be absolutely ruined. He's madly in love with you. I can tell already. And I was like, you are going to ruin him.
Yeah, he said, "Oh my God, that poor sap.
Yeah.
He's ruined."
Yeah, I was like,
Because he knew that I did not want a long-term relationship. I was just trying to have some fun.
get out there. I was like, you need, well,
You need to have multiple
I won't use the
experiences.
words that I probably used. But I was like, you need to get out there and meet people. And so this is what I wanted this to be for you. I
Yes.
wanted you to get out there and meet someone.
Have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. The
So
bridging
you
the
were
gap.
very happy for me.
I was very happy
Yes,
for you.
yes. You had a different experience than Mike Railstone, who was our DP at the time, who I told the experience to, and he has been more of like a big brother to us. So I was telling to big brother to me. So I'm telling him like basically everything that happened, like he's my brother,
Yeah, 'cause
or
it
like
kinda
he's my
is.
friend. But he's like, can you please stop? I will never forget sitting in the car with the window down at the end of the day. I'm like, I just had the best sex of my life. I don't even know what to do. This happened and this happened and this happened.
Ryan's like,
And Mike's like, Mike may have looked at me and goes, oh no, he did. He goes, this is
like-
really awkward for me.
He's like,
You're
I'm
like
calling.
my little sister.
I'm gonna
I
call
was like,
HR.
I'm 10 years older than you.
We don't have HR.
Call HR.
I didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Poor Mike. He had
Mike's
been.
the best.
He used to be. He was like sweeping the houses during season 1 of Masters of Flip, and now he's the DP. I mean,
Such a great.
what a great
journey for
story
you
and
guys.
journey, and such an amazing thing. Okay, so are there any challenges or funny stories filming during COVID?
What wasn't a challenge, honestly.
So we've told a lot of stories about Sam, our makeup artist. Do you think
Who
she would
loves
mind?
No, I don't,
I don't think
so.
so.
No, I mean she's like a firecracker, right?
She's a fire.
in like the best way.
Yeah, but she's our makeup artist. She's on set with us. We had a COVID officer. Let's call him Nigel.
Sure, love that. Old Nigel.
Nigel, okay? Nigel, his entire job is to make sure we don't touch or breathe on anybody.
Really do
and we
anything.
follow all of the COVID protocols.
Yeah.
Which also includes in Canada to keep all the windows open
Yes.
to
In the middle of winter.
in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
I hate the cold.
She's runs cold.
Yeah, I run cold. That to wear a mask at all times unless they've called action.
And then COVID goes away.
And then COVID goes away. Okay.
Thank God.
All of a sudden when you call action. So we are in so Sam does our hair and makeup. More hair and makeup on me than you, but hair and makeup.
Yeah.
We have as soon as the door's shut, we close the windows and we turn a little heater on because we are miserable. We're going to
It's
sit there.
freezing. Like we're already shooting winter.
Yeah, we're changing in this room together and it's freezing cold. So whatever, free the nipples. And so then we put a mask on after makeup.
Yes, which you can't do that.
Which you can't do that. Well, I mean, you can.
You
we
can,
did it.
but then she's just having to come in and
Yes.
be like, "Wow, your whole face is now inside of this mask."
That's right. So we had a few meltdowns, but the meltdown that takes the cake
Sam.
was Sam's meltdown.
Yes, to Nigel.
She is 4'0" nothing. She's 4'11"
She's
actually.
a
probably.
firecracker.
She's a firecracker.
Yeah.
And we have masks on, and she lost her ever-loving shit
Oh yeah, lost her shit.
on Nigel.
Poor man's just trying to do his job.
He's
too.
just trying to do his job. and
He's like
she-
literally been told to do this.
That's right.
And
And
she's being like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, she ran after him and was like, "What am I supposed to do, Nigel? Like, what am I?" And she's 4'0" nothing, and this guy's, enormous. And she's like,
Is he enormous?
we're changing the name, so we might as well change the shape.
Okay. Oh, are we embellishing?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
embellishing.
He's 7
He's
feet
7
tall.
feet tall. Yes.
300 pounds.
300
Basically
pounds.
my boyfriend.
Yes.
My boyfriend's massive.
And she says, "Oh my God, what do you want me to do? I do the makeup, but then you mess up all my work by putting the mask on, and then you take the mask off so I can do the makeup again, and then you put it on in between takes. What do you want me to do?"
I know. He's like, I don't know how to deal with
So
this.
that was one of the things that we really had to navigate. That was one of the funny stories.
COVID for me, honestly, was because this is when we just started as well.
Yeah.
And we had social distancing, we
Yeah.
had masks, we couldn't hang out. I was in Nashville.
Yeah.
Like I literally, quite literally, went home multiple days because every day was a new day for me. Right? I had never gone through a
Yeah.
full cycle. Whoop. I never gone through a full cycle. So every day I was like, what am I getting into? How do I do this? So multiple times I went home, I was so lonely. I sat in the shower and cried. So many days. Being like, why did I say yes to this? I had a good life. I liked what I was doing.
Know.
Like,
I know. But you wouldn't have been doing that either because COVID shut everything down.
No, I was back
construction.
Doing it. Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting time, and I'm surprised actually that we were able to even bond.
Yeah.
Because
well, we trauma bonded a little bit.
We trauma bonded a little bit for sure because we were both going through stuff, but I for sure was needing somebody to just hear me out. I was in a terrible custody battle, and you were there, and Ryan was there, and we would sneak off to Ryan's house on the weekends, even though we weren't supposed to, but just to get some. Well, you know what? Here's the thing: COVID's over. I don't care anymore, and we needed to feel some sort of normalcy.
Totally, I was going crazy.
We were going crazy.
Like crazy.
And I was vaccinated.
Yeah,
I was fully vaccinated. I was the only one fully vaccinated at the time because I was in the U.S. Like I had U.S. vaccination.
I got because I only got my first.
That's right. Yeah. But we would go to Ryan's house, and you guys bonded as well.
Yeah, that was a good time. Actually.
Yeah. Like when we were talking about who would make the best flower boy, of course it was Kenny. It was like a bridesman / flower man, right, Rye? Yeah, he says pretty well. Okay. I cannot believe we're at a damn hour. It's almost like we're going to need a part 2 for this. But I want to ask some questions here as well that has there been any public backlash from fans? No, I don't think so, right?
I definitely was at first.
Really?
Oh, definitely. I was a homewrecker. I broke up their marriage. A lot of people called me Creepy Kenny with 2 Ks, which, what?
I never saw that.
Yes? Oh my God. I should really stop reading comments because, like,
we should all do that.
We should all do that because
I was also sleeping with the landscaper Jeff. So just for the record, I mean, I wasn't, by the way. So I don't even want this soundbite out there. I was not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what are you doing?
Anybody. I did not cheat on my first husband.
Yeah,
Jesus.
except with your gay co-host.
Except with my gay co-host.
But after the first season, it's been all very, very lovely. But there was a hill, right? There was a hill that you had to get over because you guys were so established.
Yeah, we were. Okay, but we got through it. And you feel better now.
I feel, it's normal now.
Now it's normal. We have a brand new show. Thank y'all so much for watching part 1 with my dear friend, Kenny Brain. But y'all, it's just part 1 is not going to cut it. We have to have a part 2. We couldn't stop talking. There's so much more to cover. So listen next week for part 2. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Shit Stick of Life podcast. Please remember to like or subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Much appreciated. See you next time.